Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center, and today we're looking at the best EDC and tactical pocket knives with M390 steel that you can get for less than $150 right now. Let's check them out. Now M390 steel is something of a gold standard in the premium knife world these days. It adorns some of the finest production and custom pieces in existence today. Now this is a particle steel that brings a lot of desirable characteristics into one material. It has a very good cross-section of stain resistance, very high edge retention, and enough toughness for use in folding knives. Now given all of these strong traits, M390 typically comes with a pretty high price, but there are some great knives out there with this steel that can be had for less than $150. Certainly not cheap, but definitely an attainable amount. Now in the price point we're looking at, M390 is heavily associated with Italian-made knives, so that's where we're going to start. The first is the Steel Will Cut Jack, which is an upgraded version of their popular Chinese-made budget model. The drop point blade now rides on ball bearings for even more consistent action. The blade is almost a full 3.5 inches long, although a 3-inch mini version can also be had. The blade is satin finished and it comes with a flat grind, and that's going to help it to slice well, and the long swedge along the spine is going to do its part to reduce drag as you move through the material you're cutting. That drop point shape is very versatile, so you can tackle all kinds of different jobs. And we have a nice subtle thumb ramp up here with some jimping for traction, and a finger choil for choking up. Safety is provided by a liner lock that's housed in bright green G10 scales, although black is also an option if you want a more subdued look. The G10 itself has just enough texture for a good amount of grip without tearing up your pockets too badly. As far as length, the handle is long enough to fit all 4 of my fingers, even without using that finger choil. We've also got a reversible tip-up pocket clip to keep it in place. Overall, the Steel Will Cut Jack is a great quality everyday carry pocket knife, and it's a great place to start if you're looking to try out some M390. Now for another Italian option, this one a little bit smaller, the Mazarin AM3 Flipper. It's got about 2 3/4 of an inch of M390 steel. It's great for those times when you need or are restricted to a smaller blade. It's another versatile drop point shape with a flat grind, and the handles have a little bit of chunk to them. Not so much with the weight, but the shape of them for sure. It gives a meaty enough grip if you really need to power through a cut, and you still get the advantage of that flipper tab, which acts as a finger guard when it's open. Made from G10, I've got the Coyote Tan option here, but black and orange are both options as well. And it features a nested liner lock on one side and no liner on the opposite side. It helps it to keep the weight down overall. It also features a small G10 backspacer at the end of the knife and mostly open back throughout the rest of the handle. The pocket clip is titanium and it's single position only. It's a right side tip up pocket clip, and it has a cool blue anodized color with some hints of purple around the edges. Another nice bit of hardware we see is on the pivot screws themselves, and has a cool sunburst pattern milled in. This makes the Mazarin AM3, even though it's utilitarian in nature, a bit more elevated than a simple work knife. Now modern flippers aren't the only recipients of this wonder steel, but also modern traditionals, and case in point is the Italian-made Lion Steel Bestman slip joint. The clip point blade has a fairly conventional profile, and it features a full flat grind and fullers on each side of the blade, which act as the nail nick for opening the blade itself. In addition to this single-bladed model, there's also dual blade options that add a Wharncliffe blade, and all of them are less than 3 inches long when opened. Modern materials carry through into the handle, where we see titanium bolsters and a selection of man-made and natural options for the inlays. I've got natural micarta here, but carbon fiber is also an option, as well as several different species of wood: olive wood, ebony, and Santos mahogany. This is a nice luxury pocket knife. It's got premium materials and great construction. Good walk and talk with that nice half stop along the travel, and a crown spine that continues onto the back spring is the cherry on top of this really cool knife. Now if you like the simplicity of a non-locking blade, but you want something with a more modern style, then you should check out the MKM Ferrah, designed by Lucas Burnley. Now this knife was built by Mercury as part of the Maniago Knife Makers MKM Guild in Maniago, Italy. It's got a fluid, dynamic handle shape, but with the charm of a slip joint. Now it's got some similarities to that Lion Steel we just looked at. It's got similar wood options, as well as that nice crown spine and back spring. It differs a little bit though, in that we also see the choice of black or gray aluminum handles. And unlike the wood-covered models, the aluminum handles are linerless. All of them though get a nice blue anodized pivot collar ring, which is a really nice touch. Now at first glance, this blade may look a little bit like a clip point, but it's actually a drop point profile. We do have a little bit of a downward slope to that clipped off section at the front. Reminds me a little bit of sort of old Viking knife patterns such as the sax. We've got a long fuller that extends out to the spine of the knife, and it's on the presentation side only. Despite that, it's still easy to open with either hand, and it's got nice snappy movements, again with that great half stop. As far as modern traditionals go, the Lucas Burnley MKM Ferrah is definitely a shining star. So not content to let the Italians have all the fun, the Chinese competition has been getting into this genre too with some really good results. The first one we'll look at is from Factor Equipment, and it's a model called the Absolute One. This is a titanium frame lock flipper with ceramic bearings and M390 steel at a great price. We've got two sizes as well. This large one comes with about 3 3/8 of an inch of blade, and we've also got a sub 3-inch mini model. We've got a cool stone-washed drop point shape with both a flipper and a thumb cutout for easy opening action, either with the flipper finger or with your thumb for more deliberate action. And we've got a flat grind and a very acute point. The titanium frame itself is bead blasted, and it has a single milled diagonal line on either side. Now the knife is not super slim, it's not super thick either, but there's still plenty to grab a hold of. On this back side, the lock bar is nice and secure, and it comes with a steel lock bar insert that doubles as an over-travel arrestor. Now this eliminates any kind of lock stick, and it ensures years of solid lockup. We've also got a single position pocket clip that's made from milled titanium, and a lanyard hole that has a hexagonal shape, but it's just for looks. It doesn't actually fit a standard size screwdriver bit. Overall, I'm really impressed with both the build quality and the action of the Absolute One, especially when you factor in the price. And I think this knife would make a great EDC with a good bit of style, and maybe even a backup tactical knife. Although, this next knife might fill that role even better, and this is the WE Knife Company 818 Streak. Now, WE Knife has made a name for themselves by making some really high-end stuff. Now, the Streak trades out materials like carbon fiber or titanium and makes do with simpler G10 instead. But they kept the M390 steel and their phenomenal build quality. Coming in just under our $150 price point, this is a great affordable option in the WE Knife Company range. In fact, you have to jump up almost another $100 higher until you get to their next M390 equipped knife. It makes the Streak a really good bargain. Green, black, or tan G10 are all options, and each one of those has a matching G10 backspacer that incorporates a lanyard hole. We've also got an anodized and stone-washed milled titanium pocket clip set up for right side tip-up carry, and it's got a cool blue color that matches the pivot hardware. This knife has dual liners that are inset for a nice clean look, and they're skeletonized so that they don't add a ton of weight either. We've also got a liner lock with broad jimping for very easy operation. Now the blades themselves are two-tone finish. They can be had with either a stone-washed or black stone-washed swedge and flat grinds, along with satin flats with a nice horizontal grain. Like just about every WE knife out there, the Streak comes with ceramic bearings and a really nice detent that gives it excellent action, and the shape is ready for nearly anything. Now the American-made knives come into play thanks to Kershaw, and surprisingly, these two are actually some of the best deals going right now on this fantastic M390 steel. We have the Dividend and the Link, both available between $75 and $80 right now. Both knives are flipper openers, and they feature Kershaw's time-proven speed-safe assisted opening mechanism. It helps them fire out quickly and consistently every single time. They also both feature black aluminum handles, a liner lock, and flat ground and stone-washed blades, each with a nice swedge. They also both sit at the top of their respective model ranges. Even though they come in at a great price point, if you don't want to stretch that high, you can still get this same great design with entry-level models that feature different steels and some cheaper materials. Now, even though the feature set of these two knives is very similar, their personalities are very different. The Kershaw Dividend is slim and narrow, almost an executive knife. Some out there have even said that the Dividend is the spiritual successor to the Kershaw Leek, which is one of the greatest and more enduring modern EDC designs on the market. The 3-inch blade features a modified Wharncliffe profile. They've kept the stock nice and thin, and they have a very deep swedge to the blade that gives it a very efficient cross-section for precise cutting. The handles are nice and slim too, so that it's going to carry nice and flat in your pocket, with plenty of options considering we have a 4-position pocket clip that lets you hang this knife however you wish. Now the Kershaw Link feels a bit more rugged. The blade is a touch thicker overall, and the handles are definitely a touch thicker with a bit more to hold on to. Now it's not an overbuilt bruiser like some of the knives from Kershaw's sister company, Zero Tolerance, but it still feels strong enough to put through some really heavy work. We've got a little bit more length to the blade, about 3¼ inches, and a nice continuous sweep to the edge, which I really appreciate. The knife features a 2-position pocket clip, tip up on the left or the right, but with all the other awesome stuff going on with this knife, especially at this price, I don't think you're gonna miss those other 2 positions. Now, given the high performance of M390, being able to get it in a knife for less than 150 bucks, far less in the case of those Kershaw models, it's a thing of beauty. So what did you think of our list? Be sure to let us know in the comments what your favorite M390 knife is, and to get your hands on any of these, you can click the links in the description to head over to KnifeCenter.com. And be sure to sign up for our Knife Rewards program while you're there too, because if you're gonna buy a knife anyway, you might as well earn some free money towards your next one. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center signing off. See you next time.
How does one even visualize
I don't know
that?
what's going on anymore. Lance looks a little bit like bike.
They're getting worse.
I know, I don't know what's going on.
I
don't like it either.
No, not using that.
Can't use that. Can use that.
Won't use
use that.
Are there eggs in the chicken you ate?